I'd like to talk to you about this very important channel. It may be one of the most important channels in all of YouTube, one of the most important podcasts, if you can even call it a podcast, if you could even limit it to something under that category. I mean, this is the Star System. It's something that was born back in 2002. I believe it was about November. I was in Texarkana, Texas, my hometown. That's where I was from. I was with my buddy Justin. He's been called Triple J since as early as he can remember. I think before he was born, they nicknamed him that, but then it became kind of a prophetic name because he really loved the Triple J gas station. He lived about 3.5 blocks away from it on State Line Avenue. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We were riding in his gray Mazda, and we were cruising down the road, and you know, this video's in black and white because it happened in the past. Now, I'm not talking about the past of when I recorded it, because obviously when you watch it, every video ever made is in the past, but I'm talking about something that happened back in the olden days, back in 2002. And so as we were driving past the Holiday Inn, we've been staying there. We were doing some very unnecessary, terrible escapades. We weren't good people, I'll tell you that much. We were pulling a lot of shenanigans, a lot of scams, a lot of stolen merchandise from Walmart. Not proud of it, but God has changed my life since then. But you know, this isn't my religious channel, and I'm not going to be talking as much about that, but I can never stop talking about Jesus. But back to the story. We were riding in his gray Mazda, or it was tan or something like that, tannish gray, and we were riding past the Holodome. And if you may be too young to remember what a Holodome is. A holodome, it's a hotel connected to a dome, and inside that dome, there was everything you can imagine. There was like 6 or 7 vending machines in different places, drinking fountains. Those vending machines could have Kit Kat bars. Some of them be devoted totally to just chocolate or just trail mix or you know, Capri Sun. There's drink machines. There was foosball. I think there was like a little platform where people would perform live country music. And I think they had music playing there, and I believe there was like a lot of plants. There was all different types and shapes of people of all different genders and diversities. And I mean, it was a very diverse place. There'd be people there, maybe in the midst of affairs. There'd be, I think, some parents dropped their kids off there to play. The Holodome was packed full of, you never knew what was going to happen in the Holodome. It was about 4 or 5 stories inside. So everybody's hanging off the balcony. It kind of looked like that Mad Max dome thing, you know, where people hang on the walls while the people were fighting in there. But at any rate, we were riding past the Holodome, and I said, "Hey, Justin, turn up the radio." And he turned it up, and he said, "Uh-oh, he's back." I'm like, "Who's back?" And he said, "R. Kelly's back." And I never really liked R. Kelly. I didn't know much about him. I thought it was weird that his first name was just a letter of the alphabet. But he played it's a remix to Edition. And let me tell you, at the time, I'd never heard anything more delightful. But of course, I was under the influence of things that I don't use anymore, and I do not promote the use of. Thank God he delivered me out of that. But it was the remix to Edition. He had everyone in there wishing, they've been on cold, I can't hum very well. I'm tone deaf, so I can't reproduce things humming. But Justin's like, "Man, that's good." And I was like, I agreed. And I said, I don't know whether he or I said it, but we said, how many stars does it get? And I never had anybody ask me that before. How many stars? I had to give it like a 4.5. And I think he gave it 4 3/4, and I might have bumped mine up to 4 3/4. But then it hit me. Everything has a rating. Everything from your uncle's third wife to your aunt's wallpaper to the type of doormat your grandma used to your grandma. You know, everything has a rating. This wall, that wall, the back wall, everything has a rating. The type of shoes and shoestrings that you use, the reading glasses you use, the different card stock, different types of envelopes that people use. Everything has a rating. Since becoming a Christian, I have in my mind God and the Bible are off limits to the star system. I can't rate divine things. It just doesn't seem fair. I don't know. Don't agree with me. If you want to, that's on you. But I ain't gonna be doing it. But the star system was born, and on this channel, we're gonna be rating everything. So you better get ready, because it's gonna be like nothing else. It's bigger than the internet. It's bigger than YouTube. It's bigger than a podcast or the concept of anything like that. So we'll be sharing old stories and rating everything. Just